There comes a time in life when you realize something deeply painful. No matter how much love you give, no matter how present you are, no matter how much effort you pour into a relationship, a friendship, or a connection, sometimes people still choose someone else over you. It happens unexpectedly. You wake up one day and things aren't the same. The conversations feel different. The warmth that once existed starts to fade. You notice the shift and your heart tightens because you know they're slipping away. At first, you tell yourself you're imagining it. That maybe they're just busy. That maybe you're overthinking things. But deep down, something inside you whispers, they've already chosen someone else. And when that moment of realization hits, it feels like the wind has been knocked out of you. You ask yourself, why? Why did they leave? Why wasn't I enough? Why did they choose someone else instead of me? And that's where the pain begins. The pain of being replaced. There's a unique kind of heartbreak. That comes when you realize someone has replaced you. It's not just about love. It happens in friendships too. It happens in families. It happens in workplaces. It happens in places where you thought you were valued, where you thought your presence mattered. And yet, one day, you're standing there, watching them walk away, watching them choose another person, as if everything you shared didn't mean as much as you thought it did. It hurts. It hurts in ways you can't put into words. Because when someone chooses another person over you, it's not just their absence that wounds you. It's the realization that they had a choice, and they didn't choose you. You sit with that pain. You replay every moment in your head. You analyze your conversations, your actions, your words. You wonder if you could have done something differently. But the truth is, you could have been the perfect version of yourself. And they still might have chosen someone else. Because sometimes it's not about you at all. Letting go of the what ifs. The hardest part of healing is letting go of the what ifs. What if I had been more patient? What if I had loved them harder? What if I had done more? But here's the truth. No amount of love, effort, or loyalty can make someone stay if they've already decided to leave. No amount of proving your worth can convince someone to choose you if they've already made their choice. You have to understand when someone walks away. It's not always because you weren't enough. Sometimes they're on a different path. Sometimes they don't see what you see. Sometimes they aren't meant to stay. And you can't hold on to someone who doesn't want to be held. The reality of human nature. People are complex. They make choices based on their emotions, their needs, their desires, their fears. Sometimes they choose someone else because they feel a stronger connection. Sometimes they choose someone else because they're searching for something different. Sometimes they choose someone else because they don't recognize the value of what they already have. And sometimes they make a mistake. But whether they regret it or not is no longer your concern. Because the moment someone chooses another person over you, they show you where you stand in their life. And that is information you cannot ignore. The power of walking away. There is something incredibly powerful about choosing yourself after someone else has failed to choose you. You see, we often make the mistake of believing that our worth is determined by whether or not people choose to keep us in their lives. But that is not true. Your worth is not defined by someone's inability to see it. Your value does not decrease just because someone failed to appreciate it. And most importantly, someone else's choice does not define you. So when someone chooses another person over you, do not beg. Do not plead. Do not try to convince them to stay. Let them go. Not because you don't care. Not because it doesn't hurt, but because you deserve someone who chooses you without hesitation, without conditions, without second thoughts. You deserve someone who sees your worth from the beginning, not someone who realizes it too late. Healing takes time. Healing from this kind of pain takes time. You will have days where you feel fine. You will have days where the memories haunt you. You will have days where you miss them, even though they hurt you. That's normal. That's human. But don't let the pain make you forget who you are. Do not let someone else's decision make you question your value. Because the truth is, losing someone who doesn't see your worth is not a loss. It's a gain. It's a redirection. It's the universe making space for something or someone better. The lesson you learn. At some point, you will look back and realize that their rejection was actually a blessing. You will see that their departure made room for something greater. You will understand that people who are meant for you will never make you feel like you have to compete for their attention. You will recognize that being chosen is not something you should have to beg for. And you will be grateful. Grateful for the lessons. Grateful for the strength you gained. Grateful that you didn't waste any more time on someone who couldn't see your worth. You are enough. So to anyone who has ever felt like they weren't chosen, to anyone who has ever watched someone walk away, to anyone who has ever been replaced, remember this: you are enough. You are always enough. And the right people, the ones who truly see you, appreciate you, value you, will never make you question that. So hold your head high. Keep your heart open. Walk away from those who fail to choose you. And trust that one day you will find the people who will. And when that day comes, you'll understand why all the others had to leave. Because they were never meant to stay. And you? You were always meant for something greater.